Greetings and welcome to the Culture Ward, where we dissect and dismember pop culture in all its forms. Before we begin, please take a second to hit that subscribe button and help us grow the channel. And don't forget to like and share if you enjoy the content. Now let's get into it. Last week, Variety magazine published an article ranking the Marvel Cinematic Universe. More accurately, it's a ranking of all the Marvel projects since 2008 that are currently owned by Disney. So, projects that have been created by Marvel Studios. So, adaptations that weren't produced by Marvel Studios like Netflix shows, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., X-Men Days of Future Past, and Spider-Verse movies aren't going to be in this list. There are some that aren't really in the MCU either. We'll discuss those as they come up. But for the most part, it is a ranking of the MCU from 2008 to present. There are 54 titles in this list, which might tell you something about why Marvel has been struggling recently. There's too much stuff. Now, I've argued in the past that no one ever complains about too much good content, and I stand by that statement. But there are problems when, one, the volume of the content necessarily detracts from its quality, and two, everything is interconnected, so that casual fans and moviegoers have to do a bunch of homework just to enjoy the newest movie or show. And I think the MCU, unfortunately, has suffered from both of these problems simultaneously. There's too much bad content that people have to watch to understand each new bad thing. Anyway, for better or worse, Marvel has put out a ton of content over the past several years, and a lot of it is total crap. Let's see how bad Variety's writers are at recognizing the crap. Now, I'm just going to go through this list as quickly as I can and kind of react to it in this video. And because this list is kind of long, in a separate video, I'll issue a corrected list, properly ranking the MCU. And we'll see how close it comes to Variety's and all of yours. But without further ado, let's start with this. So, ranking the MCU, every Marvel Studios movie and show from worst to best. This is by Kate Arthur, Angelique Jackson, Haley Kluge, Jordan Moreau, Adam B. Very. I'm not going to read all this stuff here. 37 feature films, 15 streaming series, 2 TV specials, all of it knitted together. Latest movie, blah, blah, blah. Here we are. We start at number 54. The worst thing ever created for the MCU, according to Variety, is Secret Invasion. Now, this might be accurate. It was a terrible show, and it ruined Nick Fury's character and retroactively sidelined Rhodey since Civil War. Like no scene with Rhodey in it since Civil War was actually James Rhodes. In Infinity War, when he was fighting in Wakanda, that wasn't James Rhodes. In Endgame, when he was fighting, and when he went to space with Nebula to get the stone from Star-Lord, that wasn't James Rhodes. It's been a Skrull the whole time, for years. Anyway, stupid show. And it's the show with the most ridiculous scene in MCU history. So, well done on this one, Variety. Next up, 53, Thor: The Dark World. This is a huge swing and a miss. While Thor: The Dark World may rank in the lower tiers of the Infinity Saga, it is miles above anything that came after Endgame, so just no. Number 52, Ant-Man: Quantumania. This was not a good movie, admittedly, but it wasn't as bad as the large majority of Disney Plus shows. In fact, I actually enjoyed watching some of this movie, despite its very obvious flaws. And some of the stuff on Disney Plus, as well as a few of the post-Endgame movies, were literally painful to get through. I didn't have nearly as much pain watching Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania as I did watching some of those other things. So yeah, it should be low on the list, but not this low. Number 51 is Moon Knight. I'm not sure how wrong this one is. I'll have to think about it. It did have a promising premise, had a few good episodes, it was pretty intriguing in the beginning, but it definitely fell apart long before the end. Bottom tier for sure, but not certain it's this far down. We'll see when I compile my list. Number 50, Thor: Love and Thunder. Alright, so again, this is wrong, but it's not that wrong. I feel it's a few slots too low, but it was really bad. And look, I actually watched this movie twice. just to make sure I didn't miss something, because the first time I saw it, I don't think I cracked a smile through it. I was really surprised that a Taika Waititi movie could be so unenjoyable. He's at least funny usually, and this movie wasn't even funny to me. Again, though, there were several other things that Marvel has put out that are worse than this. So I don't know if this is fourth from the bottom. Alright, number 49, The Incredible Hulk. That's just wrong. I'll go ahead and state the rule. Nothing that came after Endgame, with maybe a couple of exceptions, is better than anything that came before. Again, with a couple of exceptions. And Hulk was actually pretty good. I prefer Edward Norton over Mark Ruffalo. I think he's a better actor. The movie was kind of a mess, I get that, but it was still better than anything that came in phases 4 or 5. 48, Iron Man 2. What the fuck? This movie is near the top tier of the MCU. Are they suggesting that freaking She-Hulk and Echo are better than Iron Man 2? This is the movie that introduced Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow. Whiplash was kind of underwhelming, but still, this movie was really good compared to everything that came after Endgame. Anyway, stupid, just stupid. Really stupid. Alright, 47, Echo. So, Echo is better than Iron Man 2, according to Variety. This should probably be even lower on the list, like bottom 3 to 5. The only redeemable quality of this show was the short Daredevil scene, and even that was kind of stupid. What an awful show. So, this is wrong, but not that wrong. Alright, 46, The Eternals. This might be about right. Another terrible post-Endgame disaster. This is one of those movies that's actually difficult to finish, but it was all about representation, right?
Representations, representation.
To feel represented.
Represented.
Representation.
Represented, they're representing.
Represent.
So, anyway, they tried. 45, Captain America Brave New World. This is probably accurate or close enough. I'm surprised. I mean, earlier this year, the Access Media was talking about how great Captain America Brave New World is, and now they put it near the bottom of their list, so interesting. Alright, 44, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This might also be close to accurate, and it's a shame. This had the potential to be a really good show. The premise was interesting, and really, the premise of this show should have been the premise of all of Phase 4. Dealing with the repatriation of 4 billion humans suddenly appearing out of nowhere. There was some really potentially interesting stories to be told about the post-blip. This show did not deal with it well, and got really preachy as well. Not all bad, but mostly bad. It should be pretty far down the list, so maybe that's right. 43, What If? I don't think this is MCU, and I really don't care. It's definitely low on the list, though. This might be accurate. Number 42, Age of Ultron. See, holy shit. Maybe the worst Avengers movie so far. I'll talk about Endgame later. But this movie was fan-freaking-tastic compared to everything in Phase 4 and 5. Most of which we haven't even seen on this list yet. So, no way. Number 41, Werewolf by Night. Again, not MCU. I'm not really sure where I would rank this. It's probably fine. Number 40, Thor. Jesus. Thor is a top tier movie. I know it kind of gets overlooked, but the performances were great. Anthony Hopkins' epic performance as Odin was just awesome. Stellan Skarsgård's role as Dr. Selvig. I mean, Kenneth Branagh did a great job of making Norse mythology down to earth. And he made it fit within the MCU. This movie is, frankly, high art compared to some of the titles that we haven't seen on this list yet. So, wrong again. That's She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. Well, it does belong near the end, but certainly not ahead of Thor or Iron Man 2 or Avengers Age of Ultron. And frankly, this should be way lower, like in the running for last place. What a terrible show. One of the worst shows I've ever seen in my life. The premise was stupid, the writing was terrible, the acting was ridiculous, the CGI was atrocious, and the lead character was just insufferable, gross, and a wasted opportunity. She-Hulk was one of my favorite characters in the comics growing up, and this show ruined her. So, yeah, this should be way lower. 38, Ant-Man and the Wasp. No, it's not a great movie by any stretch, but it was a light, fun, easy summer flick that I quite enjoyed, and should be a few spots further up the list. It was especially good coming right after Infinity War because of the stress of that ending. 37, Fantastic Four. What? As much as the Access media has been praising this movie, and they rank it at 37? That's nuts. Like, I quite like this movie. Not a fan of Pedro Pascal or Female Silver Surfer, but it still ranks quite a bit higher than this, and a lot higher than some of the garbage we still haven't encountered. So, I don't know what happened with this one. 36, Black Widow. Case in point, there's no way Black Widow is a better movie than Fantastic Four. Both Ant-Man and the Wasp and Fantastic Four are about 100 times better than this movie. And again, this should have been a good movie. This should have been more like Captain America Winter Soldier, a spy movie about Black Widow and Hawkeye's time in Budapest. ScarJo should have sued them more for sidelining her in her own movie and waiting until after her death in the MCU to make her movie in the first place. Whatever, this movie should be in the bottom tier, one of the worst in the MCU. 35, Iron Man 3. Nope. First of all, it's ranked higher than Iron Man 2, which is wrong. And second, it's ranked lower than it should be. This is mid-tier at worst. And there was actually some pretty good parts about this. That whole side plot where he went to Tennessee and met the little boy, that was really great. I really don't like the villain. What was his name? Aldrich Killian. He's just dumb. Even though I really like Guy Pearce, I think he did a fine job. Anyway, should be much higher on the list. Number 34, Captain Marvel. Maybe. It's a low mid-tier or high bottom-tier movie for me. Now, we'll see where it lands on my list. Not great for sure, and certainly not better than Iron Man 3. Number 33, The Marvels. Higher than Captain Marvel? That's weird. And, wrong. This movie is bottom tier garbage. Not only the biggest flop in the MCU, it's one of the biggest flops in cinematic history. It's just one of the worst movies. I don't even know if I can name any redeemable qualities of this movie. Alright, so 32, Ms. Marvel. The actress seems sweet and genuine. Premise is kind of stupid. Not the worst Disney Plus show. I know that's not saying much. Definitely not for me. This is aimed at a younger audience. But it didn't take itself too seriously. I would put this in the low mid-tier, probably. Better than The Marvels, for sure. Alright, up next, 31, Ant-Man. Nope. Again, wrong. This one is probably a little underrated in my opinion. Ant-Man was fun. It was quirky, more down-to-earth story. It was a heist film. It should have been Edgar Wright, but it was still a good enough heist film. Maybe even low top tier, but certainly high mid-tier at worst. Number 30, Ironheart. Just wow. Ironheart above Thor, Age of Ultron, and Ant-Man. I can't even fathom the reasoning behind this. Even its own creators tried to bury this steaming pile of shit. It's another Disney Plus show that is in competition for last place. It was awful. Riri Williams is a terrible character. She was a terrible character in the comics. She's a terrible character in the movies. So no way is it this far up the list. Number 29, Doctor Strange. Nope, should be higher. Upper mid-tier at worst. 28, Thunderbolts. It's not better than Doctor Strange, or any other movie from Phase 1 to 3. But it's mid-tier, it's not terrible. It was okay. 27, Daredevil Born Again. I love Daredevil. The Netflix show is one of my favorite shows of all time. This show was kind of a mess. It was very clearly two different shows that were chopped up and glued together, and it just didn't turn out like I had hoped. Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio both did a good job returning as Daredevil and Kingpin. and the best scenes in the show feature John Bernthal's The Punisher, but it wasn't great overall. Not terrible, probably the best Disney Plus show of all. Again, that's not high praise. And I have hope that season 2 will be better because they won't have the same problem of having 2 different creative teams. But anyway, it's a mid-tier project. This might be about where it lands, in the mid-20s. Alright, 26, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Yeah, this is not the MCU, and it shouldn't be this high on this list. Number 25, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Alright, another one that I think gets unfairly treated by some on the internet. It wasn't great, for sure. In context of the MCU, it's even worse. Damages the brand to some extent. However, the story and its implications for the MCU aside, if you just watch it as a standalone movie, turn your brain off and disconnect it from the rest of the MCU, it's actually pretty fun. Sam Raimi-isms abound. No, it's not better than the first Doctor Strange, or Thor, or Iron Man, but I enjoyed this movie. It's probably mid-tier. Anyway. Number 24, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So this is one of the few Phase 4 and 5 movies that was actually good. It's probably a little low on the list. It should definitely be way higher than a few that we still haven't seen yet. In fact, I think I like this one better than Volume 2. Volume 2 got a little silly, and I really liked Volume 2 as well. So this is definitely high mid-tier or low top tier. Alright. 23, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. I don't understand how you put this above Volume 3. It was fun. I didn't not like it. I guess it's canon. It's the show where we found out Mantis and Peter are brother and sister, and that the Guardians bought Nowhere. But, I mean, this is a mid-tier project. Definitely not better than any of the actual Guardians movies. Number 22, Spider-Man Far From Home. So this is the one with Mysterio. And it's another movie I enjoyed. It was a lighter entry after the heavy 1-2 punch of Infinity War and Endgame. I'm not sure exactly where this one ranks overall. It's probably a mid-tier movie, mid-tier. Alright, 21, Hawkeye. I think this is too high for any Disney Plus show, even Hawkeye, which I didn't actually hate. It wasn't good, but it wasn't terrible either. Mid-tier at best, and then mainly because they actually did treat Hawkeye's character with respect, so I like it for that. Alright, we're in the top 20 now. Coming in at number 20 is Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I don't think it should be this high on the list. In fact, I didn't like this movie at all. In my opinion, it's a bottom tier entry. I think it's made worse by the way they exploited the real-world death of Chadwick Boseman, but it was also just a nonsensical story. And Shuri is ridiculous as the Black Panther. They really should have recast T'Challa. I don't know where I'll put this. It's maybe low mid-tier. Alright, number 19, Captain America the First Avenger. Way too low. This is a top tier movie, like top 5 probably, certainly top 10. Again, this movie was practically high art compared to some of the garbage still to come on this list. Number 18, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. See? My point exactly. Shang-Chi above Captain America, the First Avenger? Are you freaking kidding me? That's ridiculous. It's outrageous. Like, I didn't hate this movie as much as I hated some of the other movies, but it wasn't good. It was entertaining enough if you could get past Awkwafina's annoying persona. Mid-tier at best, not top 20. Number 17, Deadpool and Wolverine. Another one of the rare kernels of corn in the giant shit pile of post-Endgame Marvel.
That is one big pile of shit.
Fun, funny, entertaining, not a serious movie, full of nostalgia bait and member berries, but I liked it. Not sure it's top 20, but it's probably close. 16, holy shitballs, Batman. Agatha All Along at number 16. Higher than Captain America. What in the hell could their justification possibly be for this absolute travesty? Let's see, Catherine Hahn such a gas as scheming witch Agatha Harkness on WandaVision that Marvel built a spin-off series around her. The show slowly peels back Agatha's origin story. It also puckishly explores the ways pop culture has commodified witchery as a metaphor for difficult women. Also, Aubrey Plaza plays Agatha's ex, Death, which, yes, makes this show the gayest thing Marvel's done by a country mile, and about damn time, too.
Gay!
Got it. So, that's why, because it's gay. Listen, this show is painfully terrible, gay or not. Bottom tier, very near last place. Fuck, it's ridiculous. Alright, 15, The Avengers. Again, top 5. Avengers should be top 5. Definitely higher than 15. What are they thinking? The Avengers? You put Spider-Man Homecoming at number 14 higher than The Avengers. Now, Homecoming was pretty good. Maybe even top 20, but not better than The Avengers or Captain America. Number 13, Captain America Civil War. Once again, this is a top 10 movie. All 3 Steve Rogers Captain America movies are in the top 10. So this is a little out of place, but close. Number 12, Infinity War. Nope. Top 5. No, top 3. In fact, Infinity War is in competition for number 1. Top 3 at worst, maybe number 1. Number 11, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Maybe. Close. It might be top 10, but if not, it's just outside. But again, it's not better than Infinity War. God damn, no. Just no. No Disney Plus show is anywhere near the top 10. Not even top 20. Now, while I hated Loki less than most of the others, it's still no better than mid-tier at best. Top 10, my ass. Number 9, Thor Ragnarok. Probably top 10 material. I liked it a lot. It was funny, irreverent, a little silly, and heavy-handed with the comedy. But it was okay because most of the jokes actually landed. Number 8, Iron Man. This should be top 5. He started the whole thing. Robert Downey Jr. was the MCU. This was a grounded story, superbly acted and put together, and it launched the franchise. So yeah, top 5. Number 7, Spider-Man No Way Home. The best of the Tom Holland Spider-Mans for sure. Not sure it's top 10 material. Maybe, I'll have to think about it. Number 6, X-Men 97. I mean, not MCU for one. For another, what? No, it's a good cartoon, but it's not better than almost every other MCU movie. That's just stupid. Get it out of here.
Get up out of here with my eye hole.
Number 5, Captain America Winter Soldier. Top 3 movie. Again, this may be in competition for number 1. I'm actually going to have to think hard whether to choose Winter Soldier or Infinity War as the best Marvel movie. This was just a great movie. Number 4, WandaVision at number 4, ahead of Infinity War. Winter Soldier, Iron Man. Are you fucking retarded? No way. I didn't hate it as much as I hated the other ones, but every movie from Phase 1 is 1,000 times better than WandaVision. This shit shouldn't be anywhere near the top 5. Alright, number 3, Guardians of the Galaxy. Perhaps. I mean, this might be exactly right. It's top 5 for sure. Competition's pretty fierce for number 3. We'll see where it lands when I do my own. Number 2, Black Panther. Nope. Sorry. It's one of the most overrated movies of all time. Not bad per se, but it was not a great movie. In fact, as I've indicated in the past, I thought it was insulting to black people. Having the world's most technologically advanced nation, having skyscrapers with literal thatched roofs. That's what they think of black people. That even if you had all the tech in the world, they would still live in a primitive society, with straw markets, rhino farming, and leaders chosen by blood sport. High mid-tier or low top tier at best, not top 5. And number 1, according to Variety, the best of the MCU was Avengers Endgame. And no, I disagree. Now, I must admit, I'm a little surprised that they didn't put Black Panther at number 1, so points for subverting my expectations a little, but Endgame is not the best MCU film. Period. I know mine is a little bit of an outlier opinion, but I think Endgame is also overrated. It wasn't all bad, but number 1, Fat Thor. Deal breaker for me. I get it, he has PTSD, yada yada yada, but he's Thor, protector of the 9 realms. And he's sitting on his ass in Norway for 5 years, getting drunk, while the 9 realms need him probably more than ever? Bullshit. 2, Hulk Ruffalo. Don't even get me started with this. It's annoying. 3, Time Heist. I mean, fun, admittedly, but so lazy. Really? Time travel? That's the best you can do after Infinity War? 4, Thanos. They took the well-developed and thoughtful villain from Infinity War and turned him into a one-dimensional caricature. Space Voldemort now. Number 5, third act was messy. 6, they killed off Iron Man. 7, they destroyed Captain America's entire character. Anyway, this movie may be better than Age of Ultron, but I would really have to think about it. Definitely not top 5, probably not top 10 in my book. And that's it. Well, Variety didn't get it all wrong, but what they did get wrong, they really got wrong. Am I right? WandaVision and Loki in the top 10? While the first 2 Thors are near the bottom? I don't think so. Agatha All Along better than the Avengers? What a joke. Well, I wouldn't expect much less from the legacy media. Anyway, as I said, I'll be putting together a proper MCU ranking and see how it stacks up against Variety's. I should have it done very soon, so keep an eye out for it. We'll see how my ranking lines up with all of yours as well. What did you think of Variety's MCU ranking? Did it live up to your expectations? Why or why not? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Bye for now. We hope to see you next time in the Culture Wars.